You know who it is, the horror flick, Digger Ditch, Super 6, Bigg Mitch. And I'm kicking in those, roll 3 O's. And I'm bringing 28s, 101s because we Vegas Suns, it's the Chronicles. And you in the Meadowlands. Yeah, you in the Meadows, man. And you already know what made me. 530, what that mean? Oh, that boy's a desert baby. Brace yourself. Hope a dub scrub, 22-inch gold thing of things. And big bolo yang, yeah, look at it, man. I can never sit on my claims. Welcome to Vegas Chronicles with the host, Super 6, Mr. Ditch Bigg Mitch. And today, like any other day, y'all know what we do. We kick ass with factuals, with no additives, no preservatives, none of that stuff. Just raw and uncut. You already know. Like what? Tell me. Like what? Like some sausages and crackers. You already know. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with your boy. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting my platform, man. You know what we doing. We building it brick by brick, man, and we just won't quit. You know what I mean? I want to send a special shout out to everybody that's been sending me positive feedback, man. Salute to Bobby A, young brother, man. He got at me, man. Seemed like a bright young man, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that my videos can influence a person in a positive manner, man. Shout out to that young brother, man, leading the way for positivity, getting his life together, man. And hopefully, man, that brother reap every beneficiary, everything that he you know, God got to offer him in life, man. I salute you, young brother. Do your thing. And salute to Bobby Ye, man. Y'all tune in to Imperial Vision, man, with that boy Bobby Ye, man. My brody be bringing it, man. He be bringing that hot sauce, man. So y'all go over there and check him out, man, and start spreading this love, man. You know what I mean? And let's start supporting one another. But let's jump right off into it. You know, I did a video the other day, and I was talking about the top 3 smallest, you know, violent gangs in Vegas. And I was having a dialogue with someone, and they asked me a question because I want to tell y'all a story. But they asked me a question. They asked me, why do I think gangs like, you know, the Gershon when they were active, and Donna when they were active, in the Rolling 60s, and the Northtown Gangsters and the Bloods, why do I think they became like so hated? Not just amongst them, you know, amongst themselves, but why did a lot of gangs become hated? Because let's be honest, you know, Donna Street, the Gershon, and you know, a few more, they were known to be, you know, not just, you know, from a gang perspective, dirty, you know, violent, untrustworthy gangs, but a lot of people that wasn't associated with gangs had a disdain for Donna and Gershon. And it didn't have nothing to do with gang banging. And that's because, I'm going to be honest with y'all, and y'all probably ain't going to hear this from nobody else, but I'm going to always tell y'all the truth because that's what I stand on. And when I spoke to my father, he told me if I'm going to do this, man, then I have to give it to you from the ground up. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you the truth. The reason why gangs become so hated, especially in particular the Gershon and Donna, because them probably was the 2 most hated gangs ever in Vegas. And a lot of it, you know, most of it, and I say a large percent of it, didn't have nothing to do with gang banging. I'm going to tell you something. What happened is, like when L was unalived, what happened is the Gershon didn't just keep their animosity and their anger toward the West Coast Bloods. I mean, when that happened to L, I remember the sentiment. It was a dark moment in the Gershon. And it was an emotional moment in the Gershon. People literally walked around the Gershon with tears, you know, Stink Earl, Woodlock. He used to come to the boys club crying, tears just falling down his face. So it was just so much anger that they unleashed it on everybody. It didn't matter if you didn't have nothing to do with what happened to L. The Gershon was just mad, so if you came over there or whenever the Gershon went out, they took it out on everybody. They took it out on people that didn't have nothing to do with it. And Donna, when they lost Boo Boo, you know, they didn't just focus on the Rolling 60s. The Donnas took it out on everybody, you know. And I'm going to be honest with you, you know, that's why, you know, things like, you know, what happened with my cousin Ricky and the reason why they went at it with The View is because they took their anger from what happened to one of their loved ones out on everybody. And that normally is what happens. People, when they lose homeboys, they don't keep it between the gang they suspect of unaliving their homeboys. They take it out on everybody. And some people, like from smaller gangs, they'll take that risk when they ain't got no money or their hood ain't got no money, and they'll try to do business with the bigger gangs. And the bigger gangs are being that I don't give a F mentality because they lost a homeboy, and they'll be looking just to mess everybody over. And a lot of times people do try to, mess with these cats on another level, not on a banging level or nothing, just on some business. And they'll use what happened to their homeboys to rob them, or they'll see these cats at the store and they might not be tripping. They don't got nothing to do with what happened to your homeboy. They not even from your side of town. But y'all come in the store and there might be 3 of them and there might be 10 of y'all. And the fact that y'all lost a homeboy and y'all mad, and these cats just happen to be in the gang, they ain't done nothing to y'all. They ain't never had an argument with y'all, but they just happen to be from over there. Y'all go smash them just because y'all mad. See, this is what brings about the animosity. People take out their anger on people that don't have nothing to do with it. You see? So that's why the Gerson became hated. People came over to the Gerson because they had certain drugs that other people didn't have. And they took that risk. But instead of the Gerson, doing what they were supposed to do, the Gerson took it a lot of times upon themselves to rob these people or beat these people. That's why the Gerson became so hated, and the people tell you, you can go anywhere, but don't go over there. The devil wouldn't come to the Gerson without a police escort. I'm being honest with you. It was horrible over there, But that's why a lot of gangs become hated, and I'm going to get into that. But I want to tell these youngsters a story, and if you got a son, I want him to hear this. Now, I use things as an example. Now, you can say, well, did this really happen? It don't matter. Just listen to the story, okay? This story happened to do with 2 homeboys. And, just to keep it fair, I'm going to just say, and I'm not saying they from the Gerson, but we just going to say they from the Gerson, okay? It was these 2 Gerson dudes, right? They grew up together. They built a bond, right? And one of them had a little brother. He was 10 years old, They didn't have no father figure, one of them. So he was like the father figure. His mama was, she was strung out, So he was basically taking care of the little brother. The mama wanted gone, but she was gone to the point to where he had to take care of the little brother. So him and his homeboys, they was known for, they was ace coon boom, putting in work, did what they were supposed to do. But see, what made their bond even stronger is, see, they both got caught up in different incidents. One got caught up and, someone told on him, his own, you know what I mean? So he ended up getting locked up. And then the other one, he get caught up too, stealing cars and stuff. So he get locked up because one of his homeboys told on him too. So they both locked up and they mad because they homeboys told on them, and they all from the same hood. But they got told on, so they bitter. But this what made them, bond even harder because they felt, everybody else was telling and they was the only ones ain't. So they made a pact that, no matter what, they ain't gonna never tell. And that's what they gonna stand on, And as they grew up, that's what they was about. They didn't mess with people. They put in work together. The one homie who had the brother, every time they pulled a lick, because they was like jacking people, kicking in doors, they was robbing dope dealers, they was doing their thing, And he was taking care of his little brother, kept his little brother fitted, kept the mama with some food, even gave her a couple dollars to go get her a drink or two, He kept the lights on in the house. They was doing their thing, but they was jacking, but they was keeping their mouth shut. They weren't telling their homeboys what they was doing, none of that. They was jacking, right? So they was making a lot of money, right? So, it's been, a couple incidents where they got caught up. They both, was accused of pulling licks. The police came and swooped them up. They ain't say nothing. Did now one of them say nothing? When they separate them, put them in different rooms, did now one of them say nothing? They kept it real, right? So they both get back out. So they seeing when you keep your mouth shut, you cool, right? So this make them even closer. Now he know he can trust him, and he know he can trust the other one, right? So they going back to work. They jacking, right? So all of a sudden, it was this one cat. He was from a smaller gang. Let's just call it a Crip gang, right? And he started having money. But this cat right here, he wasn't the type of cat that was in the streets. He just wanted to make his little money, stay out the way. He from a small gang that didn't try to go to war, have no funk with nobody. They were just trying to have a little money, have a few cars, and just do their things. They weren't messing with nobody. If they see you, they not trying to get into it with you. This cat, if you ask him for something and he got it, he probably will actually give it to you. But these two cats from the Gerson, he on their radar. They've been watching him. They've been hearing about him. He doing it big, right? And the fact that he don't mess with nobody, he keep a low profile, he eating, right? He got all these clean cars. These cats, they roll by his spots and they watch, they see how the spot's booming. They see him going up to the car wash, getting his cars clean. This cat, he got about 3-4 cars, man. They see him, he got his jewels on, but he ain't trying to floss or nothing. He cool. You know, he don't got no enemies that he know of, but the two Gerson dudes, they sitting back and they watching him. Oh, we got to have him. We got to have him. You see? So they peeping him, right? So they wait, and they notice that, he go to a certain neighborhood, which is considered a Crip neighborhood too, but, they very scarce. It ain't a lot of them to pose a threat to nobody. You can actually go hang out, live in that hood and everything. They there, but they not there. So he used to go over there, because that's where he kept his drugs, right? So they found out. So one day they decide, we gonna make our move, all right? We gonna go over here, we gonna lay everything down, we gonna get what we go get, and we go get on, right? So they get the female, right? They had this female that's from over there, that stayed over there where he kept his drugs. They knew her. So they, was working with her, and she was letting him know who was in the house. They letting them know who was in the house, what they had, basically, because she was going over there, buying stuff, and she was just letting them know who was in the house, and, if they was going to go up in there, do it now, right? So they decide, we up in there. So they send the same bride over there to knock on the door, but she go act like she don't know them. She just go act like she go knock on the door to get the door open so they can go in there and do what they go do, but they go slap her upside the head too to make it look real, right? So look, so she go over there, she knock on the door, doom, 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 doom. They open the door. They see her, dude kind of relaxed. And as he was letting her in, one of the Gersons come up behind her, push her in with the dude. He slap her, then he slap him with the gun. Lay down. They go in there, they lay everybody down, right? They get everything, right? And they scold big. Old boy had just copped, so everything he just got was in the house. So they took everything, you know what I mean? Slapped everybody up, you know what I mean? Put everybody down, laid everybody down, did what they did, got everything, got ghosts, right? They scold, right? They did it big, right? So they get whatever they get, they hit big, right? So they divide everything up, they go their separate ways. They know, keep a low profile for a few days, you know what I mean? Because dude go be out and about, they gonna be trying to, but we don't care because he weak, he from a small hood, we ain't tripping, but we ain't gonna let nobody know what we got neither. So he go back, he go home, he look out for his little brother, get his little brother a bike, get his little brother some clothes, fix the house up, he laying low. But his other homeboy, he had a gambling habit, he couldn't stop gambling, so he all up at the casinos, blowing the little money they got, you know what I mean? So he trying to, slang what they took to, make money, you know what I mean, to gamble. The other boy, the other cat, the other Gerson dude, he taking care of his little brother. He ain't out there, right? So the cat they got, he looking for him. He hot, right? He ain't buying what that female saying about her not knowing these cats. He ain't buying it. See, what these dudes did is they underestimated this guy. They thought since he was from a small neighborhood and that, he wasn't the type of guy that seemed to be out there like that, they didn't know that this dude was a cold demon beneath all that. See, he didn't believe that. So they snatched up the girl because they didn't believe that she ain't had nothing to do with it, right? They did all type of ungodly things to her. And she started singing like Mary J. She told everything, right? Who it was, how they did it, where they stayed, all that. So now, old boy, he ain't cared. Oh, they from the Gerson, huh? Even though the Gerson are the biggest gang ever, he don't care about none of that. He want them, right? So now, the prey has become the predator. So now, he on their helmets. He watching them, right? The one cat with the gambling habit, he a little wild. He keep a pistol on him. He a heavy drinker. But he'll play with that pistol. The one with the little brother, he a little bit more mild mannered. He really don't want to bust that thing. You know, he actually enjoys spending time with his little brother. You know, he really love his little brother. You know, he like taking him to the park. He like doing things with him. He try to keep him out the gangs and stuff like that. He trying to show him another part of reality. You know, trying to really be a father figure, even though the mama ain't really there. But he love his mama and he taking care of him, so he a little bit more mild mannered. You know, so what ended up happening is the guy that they got, he ended up finding out where the guy with the little brother stayed. And you know, the little brother, you know, he used to be with his little friends. They used to go to the arcade and all of those stuff, play, whatever. You know. So one day, the two Gersons get together because old boy that had the gambling problem, he done messed off everything. So now they trying to get another lick. Right? So they rolling around. They don't know what they gonna do. Right? Old boy with the little brother, he's still kind of ice, so he ain't tripping. But he know his homie doing bad, so he go help him come up again, right? So they on another mission, you know? Next thing you know, one of them get a phone call. The one with the gambling habit. He get on the phone, it's his girl. His girl asks him, hey, you with such and such? He said, yeah, he right here. He said, tell him his mama been trying to call him. He look, he said, hey man, your mama been trying to call you. So they pull over. He called his mama. He said, hello? She tell him to come home. He come home. She said the little brother ain't came back. She don't know what's happening. Right? So he said, what you mean the little brother ain't, my little brother ain't came back? She said she don't know where he at. He normally be back. And, you know, he had a phone, and when she called it go right to voicemail. So he went up to the arcade. He was asking around. The little brother never came up there. Right? So now they like, what the hell? So him and, you know, his mama panicking, you know. So now they rolling around trying to find where their brother at. They never thought that cat that they jacked would do something like that. But he snatched up old boy, little brother. Right? So now they rolling around and they tripping. Right? So one of the cats, because the little brother had a phone, he used the little brother's little phone and he called the brother, the Gerson. Hello. He had one of his homeboys, a voice he never heard. The guy that they jacked had one of his homeboys on the phone. He told him, he said, y'all know what y'all did. Either make it right or we gonna make it wrong. And he hung up. Either make it right or we gonna make it wrong. That means bring back what you had, right? Now, they didn't realize, oh, we messed up. Oh, boy got my brother. So now they panicking. They going to get gats, not knowing where to go. You know, they mad. They don't want to make no moves and get the boy messed off. Now he's trying to scrounge up what they took. They don't really got nothing. Old boy, they messed off everything. They don't got it. You know? So they got to do something. Right? So they decide to rob a store. We got to rob the store to get the money, because if we ain't got all the flav, the drugs, but we need to at least get the money. So they decide to rob a store. You know? So they go to a store. Let's just get right to it. They run up in there. They rob everything, right? But the cat behind the counter, he decided he didn't want to be robbed that day, and he decided to put up a fight, and the cat that had the gambling problem pulled the trigger. Shot old boy in the chest. Laid him down. They got the money, though. They got up out of there. Old boy wasn't even, you know, too much thinking about what they just done. He just wanted to get his brother back. You know? But on the way leaving, they tried to hit back streets to end up getting a high-speed chase. Right? So they end up wrecking. The one with the brother, he jump out the car. He got the money. He gone. Right? The one with the gambling habit, he end up getting caught. Right? So they lock him up. Right? Old boy, he get away. He got the money, everything. Only problem is, they not calling back. Right? So he tried to call his little brother's phone. They won't answer. So he wait and he get nervous. They won't answer. So he decided he gonna go up over there where they took the stuff. As he was going over there, he didn't know that the police been watching that area. And as he was creeping over there, he didn't know what he was gonna do. All kind of thoughts was going through his head. He thought the brother was up in there where they took the drugs, so he was gonna go up in there and kick in the door and just try to. He didn't know what to do. But as he was sitting there thinking, the police ride up on him. They get him. Now he got it. Right? So they got them both locked up now. Right? And he decided, you know what, this too much, man. I got to save my brother. So he started cooperating. You see? And the police say, okay, we hear everything you're saying. If this is true, then your homeboy can corroborate the story. He like, yeah, he could tell you everything I said. I got a phone call in his car. We was in his car. I'm gonna tell you everything. They called me. They said they was looking for my brother, man. They were looking for. They called me. They said they had my brother, and they wanted their stuff back, right? So they said, okay, well, let us go talk to him. He tell us what, if he tell us what you said, you all good. And old boy was like, yeah, please hurry up, go talk to him, man, because they might be doing something to my brother. He going hysterical, right? He admitting everything they did. He just want his brother safe. The police like, okay, we just calm down. Let us go talk to your homeboy. If he cooperate your story, everything you say, you good. Now, you remember when I first told you this story, they made a pact that they wasn't going to never snitch, right? Well, see, he didn't stick to the code because his brother got snatched up. But the homeboy that had the gambling problem, he gonna stick to the code. Because when the police went over there to ask him, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. So the police said, come on, man. Your homeboy said he even got a call on your phone. He said, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. He ain't getting no call on my phone. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know nothing about nothing. They like, you sure you wanna? He said, man, I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know about what you talking about. I don't know about what he talking about. I don't know about nothing. See, he thinking the police lying. Even though the police told him, old boy say that you got a phone call on your phone and your girl told him to call his mama. Even when the police told him that, he still wouldn't break code. Because, see, they made a pact. We not go snitch. So he wouldn't snitch, and the police, they came back to him. They say, sorry, your homeboy say he don't know what you talking about. He say, what you mean? He begging, let me talk to him. Then they like, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. So they charging him with the murder, excuse my French, with what happened at the store. They charge him with that, the robbery, all that. Now they sitting in the county jail looking at that. So he called home, somber, and when he called home, his auntie answered the phone. He asked him what's going on. The mama been rushed to the hospital. She in ICU. She had a heart attack because they found her son in the trash can. Yeah. I guess when what they did hit the news, because it hit the news, I guess when they caught on that them dudes ain't gonna be able to get back what they took it upon themselves to make it wrong. I'm telling y'all I'm telling y'all this story. And y'all gonna ask me, is this real or fake? But I tell you this right here. When you ask me about telling, see, there's two sides to that coin. You see? What if you was in that situation to what if that was your son, or your brother, or your mother, or your daughter, and they got snatched up behind something you and your homeboy did. And the only way you can sell them is by telling. Would you tell? Or would you do like his homeboy did and stay 10 toes down, even if it costs you your loved one's life? See, y'all like to walk around here, and I'm not advocating nothing other than this common sense. Y'all like to walk around here and play these games, man, like everything is golden, like silence is golden, Like we don't tell around here. We don't tolerate telling. Are you serious? Let me explain something to you. Not only do they tell, they celebrate people who snitch. They make them millionaires. Ask Sammy the Bull. They turn them into celebrities. You see? I told y'all, when you sign up for this, that's what you signing up for. Everything that look vulnerable ain't no victim. Just because a person is cool, don't mean he a punk. You see? They underestimated somebody because they wanted to feed their habit of jacking. They jacked the wrong person. He snatched up one of their loved ones. One of them had a habit. He couldn't stop gambling, which put them back out there. But they did it so much that they forgot its consequences. When you join a gang, when you sign up for this, don't you ever forget its consequences. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world right now. A lot of stuff. And we on the edge. It's never been this dangerous before in America. And the last thing we need as black people, as melanated beings, is the continuation of the senseless self-destruction that's going on in our communities. We have to rein in our YNs. They sending the military in there. And it ain't to do them no good. We got to get our children out the streets. We can't let this government, who have